Fortunately for Mr. Relevant, look at the screen right now. Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey. Who else in the screen, like who else, what other quarterback has this type of supporting cast? And that's before we talk about having the best defense in the NFL. So here we go. 3rd and 2. 49ers are going to run a little rub route here. They're going to get Christian McCaffrey isolated on a return route. So he's on the bottom of the screen. Man-to-man coverage. Good luck stopping that. And it seems simple, but like this is what the 49ers do, right? They're going to get the ball out quick. They're going to let their playmakers do the heavy lifting, and it's going to be on the offensive line to give Brock Purdy protection right there, and it's going to be on 13 to put the ball in the money as he did. So after the game, Kyle Shanahan said, Purdy looks deep to short, and that's what you want in a quarterback, and that is a huge compliment, and I felt like seeing Purdy throw the ball 37 times just kind of speaks to how much trust Shanahan has in the rookie quarterback. So on this play, it's an inaccurate pass and probably should have been a PI, but the process is there and he uses the entire field. So top of the screen here, you can see the pass is behind Deebo, and you can see on the TV copy that, I mean, the defensive back is just mugging Deebo. I believe he had his entire left arm hooked, but as you can see the concept, so the Dolphins have a single high safety, so the middle of the field is closed, but he's nosy. He's not expecting the 7th round pick to throw the ball down the field, so he's jumping down on this Kittle route, leaving the middle of the field wide open. So right now, Purdy needs to throw this ball somewhere on the hash, probably closer to the numbers, put some air underneath it. That way Deebo can run underneath it instead. So look, the ball actually ends up on the hash. The ball should probably be inside of the numbers. This guy has no shot to make it. Look where he is right now. By the time the ball is released, he's never going to be there. So if the ball is probably, I mean, obviously it's got to be out of the screen, but. So after the game, Kyle Shanahan said, Purdy looks to go deep to short. And he also said, like, that's what you want in a quarterback. Shanahan letting Brock Purdy throw the ball 37 times speaks to how confident he is and how comfortable he is with Purdy running his offense. So on this play, they have a concept to get Deebo Samuel open down the field. So again, instantly, second throw of the game, they're letting him take shots down the field. Great sign. Here we go. Dolphins have a single high safety, so they're expecting, or they're closing the middle of the field. However, they're not expecting the 7th round pick to throw the ball down the field. So naturally, when you get that, he's thinking, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to jump all these routes. What does that do? Leaves the middle of the field wide open. The ball is going to be underthrown, as you can see. And the DB got there early. And you can see on the TV copy as well that, I mean, he just had he had Deebo's left arm hooked. Should have been flagged. They end up getting a makeup call later on Ayuk for it. But if you're Purdy, you want to use the entire field here, right? So as soon as I see the safety jump down, first of all, great recognition to know where to go with the ball. However, the ball ends up on the hash. It should be closer to the numbers. That way Deebo can run underneath it, have some trajectory, have some loft on the ball. Instead, it's underthrown. And you can see the cornerback running here late underneath the ball, but he's never going to get there. So I love the process here. I love finding the deep guy, giving him a chance. And on that next 3rd down that I mentioned, it was 3rd down. It was to Ayuk. They stay on the field because he throws the ball down the field because of it, Purdy's legs. So it's an incomplete pass here, but I like the process. And if he's chucking the ball down the field, if he's using the entire field like that, the 49ers will be fine with 13 under center. If you've been watching these videos by now, you know process over results. It's 3rd down. The 49ers don't end up getting the 1st down, but the process is there. So in this game, Purdy faced a free rusher on 4 different occasions. He turned each of those plays into a positive. One of them didn't end up being a positive because there was a drop, but still, the process is there, and that's why it's easy to be confident or easy to understand why the 49ers offense won't take a significant step back with Purdy under center. So here we go. Watch the bottom of the screen here. There's going to be somebody coming free off the edge. that means the quarterback is responsible. That means the quarterback has to do something. It has to make him miss. This player was voted in the top 10 safeties by NFL executives. Javon Holland, he is very good. So for Purdy to make him miss to account for the rusher, keep his eyes down the field, make a play, he threw an interception on the next play, but it was 4th and 3. He allowed the offense to go for it, to stay on the field, and I think that matters. So there were some protection issues, and I imagine whether it's Brindle, whether it's Purdy, like that is a big issue that they need to iron out this week. There were also some snap issues, so low snap right there. That's just going to frazzle the quarterback. That can't happen for a guy coming off the bench cold who didn't practice all week, and the snaps were an issue quite a bit. But the real issue is, like, why are they sliding? Speaking of they, is the offensive line. And again, I don't know if it's Purdy, I don't know if it's Brindle, but 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. The numbers, right? The simple numbers tell you I'm going to slide this way and leave these 2 for one of these 3. Obviously, it doesn't work out like that. So, look, they are all sliding this way. So he drops off. So there's only 2 to block 3. So the Dolphins, they end up getting it right. There's not enough players for the 49ers to block the Dolphins defenders. Thankfully, it was a good blitz pickup by McCaffrey, but Purdy does his job there, keeps the offense on the field. Again, they don't pick it up, but I feel the process is there, and that's what really matters. All right, so Purdy was a 4-year starter, played at Iowa State, had a lot of film out there, and his biggest issue, to me anyway, was the lack of arm strength. So this is a gimme. This is a layup, a deep out route that you would think any NFL starter would be able to complete in their sleep, but I really just don't think he has the arm strength to put the zip on the ball. And when people think arm strength, they think of how far you can throw. In my opinion, it's throwing these intermediate routes, putting zip on the throw, throwing it on a line, because he can't push the ball on a line. He has to put some loft in it. I don't want to get into like quarterback mechanics and talk about him unlocking his hip. But yeah, he airmails it, and that just can't happen. You would think that any NFL quarterback would be able to complete this, but this is something to keep an eye on because those are the routes, especially for the 49ers, that are just so difficult to cover. So keep an eye to see if the accuracy on the intermediate level is an issue. What's not an issue, as you just saw, is him against free rushers. So again, the Dolphins bring somebody free. Purdy turns it into a positive play. This is really good. Like, this is one of, if not his best reps of the game. So check it out. Again, more than the 49ers can block. His eyes go to the right spot. It goes to, so you want to replace the blitz. He replaces the blitz, throws it to Kittle. Kittle gets his head around, takes the hit, first down. That is high quality quarterbacking right there. All right, so let's check it out again. From the end zone view, like what's going on with the line? First of all, snaps where it needs to be. That's good. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Might have to count him. But you should be setting your protection toward the mic, right? Toward the, if you've watched football in the last 15 years, you'd hear Peyton Manning shout out who the mic was. So, instead, Brindle's looking this way. So they have 1, 2, 3 to block 1, 2, and then they have 1, 2 to block 1, 2, 3. So there's a math issue right there. And again, that is something that I would be the most concerned about, is keeping your quarterback clean, keeping him upright. Can't do that with free rushers. You don't want to live and die with your quarterback beating free rushers, but he did, and this is pretty freaking good. You're not many, even the best of the best quarterbacks should be commended for making this play. So kudos to Purdy right there. And that is a big play to keep the offense moving, keep the chains moving, keep the offense on the field. All right, so into the half, 2-minute drill. As you can see, the Dolphins have and continue to be aggressive. They are just loading the box, trying to bring pressure, trying to confuse the third-string quarterback. Like, why wouldn't you? That's a good strategy if you're the defense. But this is a good counter by Shanahan here. He knows that they've been bringing pressure. What better way to counter that? By just getting the ball out quick and calling a screen. It helps to have crazy athletic offensive linemen, 71, to make this play work. It also helps to have just good blockers on the perimeter. Like the 49ers are able to get explosive plays like this because their wide receivers and pass catchers can block. A lot of times you'd see this player run at the defender when really you just want to run at the heels and come up. Watch Kittle, he does that. Goes flat. So he does his job. All Jennings has to do is stay in front and mirror. And you can see there's a giant alley for Christian McCaffrey. And old 71 doing what he does. Getting out in front. And nobody wants to take on him. But how about that? Brunskill out in front. You're going to see Aaron Banks hook his defender too. This is why you invest in athletic offensive linemen. See guys in space, breaking down, blocking defenders. Christian McCaffrey doesn't really have to do anything. So Aaron Banks, seals the defensive lineman there. It seems like a simple play because Christian McCaffrey doesn't have to do anything, but I think we should really appreciate the blocking on this play. And that's how the 49ers are able to put points on the board. All right, here is a would-be touchdown. Thankfully, they came back and scored a touchdown on the next play, but you see Purdy poised. So if you remember, last week, what did the Saints do? They dropped 8 in coverage in the red zone, and Jimmy struggled with that. What do the Dolphins do here? They do the same thing. There are not many windows when you have 8 defenders within, 10 yards of the line of scrimmage? Poised, calm, not flustered. Purdy goes through his reads, puts the ball where it needs to be. 23 can't come up with it. McCaffrey had a couple drops in this game, actually, but he's such a weapon as a slot receiver that I just keep feeding him. Okay, so this view is going to show you what makes this play so impressive. Just watch Purdy's helmet. Let's watch him go through his progressions. 1, 2, 3, 4. McCaffrey is the 4th read on this play. Watch him. 1, 2, no to Kittle, no to Ayuk. Back to McCaffrey, and the ball is where it needs to be. So you have an oncoming defender. So he throws it behind him slightly, and you're paying McCaffrey to make that catch. So he doesn't come up with it, but the process is so good right there. That's why it's easy to be confident in Purdy. And what would a good play caller do in this situation? 7 seconds left. I was crossing my fingers hoping that Shanahan wasn't going to kick a field goal here. Instead, keeps the offense on the field, knowing, hey, they couldn't cover it last time. What makes you think they're going to cover it again? They don't. And you can see what the Dolphins do again. They're going to go to their drop 8. By doing your drop 8 here, you have a defensive lineman who's rightfully worried about Kittle. This flat defender is worried about Ayuk. All that does, flooding an area. 2 defenders, 3 pass catchers. Easy breezy. Touchdown. Great job by Shanahan to come back for it. Good recognition by Purdy. McCaffrey does the easy part, catches the wide open ball. Touchdown. And this was a big score to turn this into 7 and not have to settle for a field goal after a drop pass. So kudos to the 49ers offense. They're rolling at the end of the half. There's a play earlier in the game where they ran this same concept, and I want you to watch it here. So it's a high-low concept. They do this every game where one player either sits right here or runs out as Kittle is there to hold this linebacker, and there's going to be a dig route coming in right behind him. As you can see, hits Juwan Jennings exactly where you need to. What I want to show is the end zone view. So this is really, again, for a 7th rounder who's coming in off the bench, no practice reps with the starters. He is used to playing against 49ers first team defense, so maybe that's why he performed so well. Purdy's going to hold this guy right here. He's going to hold the linebacker. Watch him. He knows where he's going the whole time. He's looking left, only to come back right. Why does he do that? He's making sure to get Jennings, not in this first window, but the second window. The second window is always open. It's always open. So watch holding. He knows he's not going to throw it over here. But if he looks over here, 45 has to respect that. You can see him inching right. And then by then it's too late. So again, it seems like it's easy just because in the big picture, see, he's wide open, easy throw. But the process of Purdy making the right decision, holding linebackers, love that. Really impressed with that rep right there. All right, so what can't happen, especially on third down, is running into sacks. So here we go. Let's run the play, because when you see it, your instant reaction is, oh man, Mike McGlinchey gave up another sack. But let's watch the drop here. Watch his footwork, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right there, that's the pocket is the 40-yard line, right? So if your depth, if you're taking a 5-step drop, let's call it, and you're on the 40-yard line, you cannot spin away 3 yards backward. All that's going to do is make life easier on the edge rushers. If anything, it's just step up, climb the pocket. And Brock Purdy's going to learn this. He was a little loosey-goosey as far as when it comes to just running and scrambling. He was freelancing, playing a little sandlot ball, but I would imagine he cleans that up. I mean, it's tough to blame him for acting like a chicken with his head cut off, I would say, on a few plays. Still, can't have this happen. He's played for 4 years at Iowa State. He knows that you can't spin into sacks like this. But this is not on McGlinchey. It's a tough one. I'm not saying anybody was open, but you never know. If you gain 2-3 yards, Shanahan might go for it. Here's the look from the end zone view. Not really much pressure. That's what he needs to do is step up, though. No doubt about it. So knowing that you are going to get man coverage, which the Dolphins live in, Shanahan did a really good job of just running these little rub pick routes. It's a follow concept here, so let's watch it play out. Watch the top of the screen. You have Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and then Jauan Jennings. So by switching the releases, you're going to get somebody open. As we talked about last week, that means somebody has to be responsible, this guy, for whoever is number one coming back in. Naturally, they don't pass it off like the Saints did last week, so that just makes life easier on Deebo. So watch Deebo. Deebo's open now. Purdy, as we talked about before, he's looking for the deep route, right? He's looking for the home run play. I am okay with that. The line has to hold up for that to happen, and they do. But I think as we're going to progress as the season goes along, you're going to see his process speed up, right? His eyes are going to move faster. Deebo's open the whole time, and eventually he finds him. So again, creating, extending the play, 3rd and 1, which you're going to see from the front in the end zone view. 49ers ran into a 3rd and 1 look just like this, where all the guys were bunched up here. It didn't work out. It does here because they are throwing the ball. And I love coordinators who, when you throw the ball on 3rd and 1, you don't have to run something short, right? You don't have to run something at the sticks. This ends up being like a 7-yard gain, I believe. So it does work out. Let's check it out from the end zone view. See plenty of time there. Still poised. Nice and easy. First down. Keeps the chains moving. All right, so another free rusher. And let's just watch it play out. So 3rd and 2. You have to have this, right? If you take a sack here, you're probably out of field goal range. You probably have to punt. You want to get points in this situation. So they have the free rusher. Another somewhat low snap. But he doesn't panic. And McCaffrey is like a half yard short. Brock Purdy ends up getting the first down on a quarterback sneak. But he makes that play right there with his legs. Like, that is not easy. So why are they sliding this way? This is really just a good play by the Dolphins. They bring more than the 49ers have to block. It's a 5-man rush. McCaffrey chooses to release instead of block. So if that's the case, that's on Purdy to get out of there. Luckily, he has the mobility to do so. That's impressive to me. They don't pick up the first down, but they do on this next play here. So keep the offense on the field. Can't ask for much more than that. So we're into the second half now, and I thought for sure Shanahan would dial up a couple shot plays down the field, and they did. They had a couple of opportunities, but they weren't able to take advantage. One, Jauan Jennings and Brandon essentially just ran into each other and messed the play up. On this play, they have the perfect call on everything works. So you get the look you want. The Dolphins are in cover 2. So you can tell they're in cover 2. They're impressed. They're pressed. And the corners are slightly shaded to the outside. So they're funneling everything toward the middle. Cover 2 just means he has a deep half. He has a deep half. They're going to fake a run action. And that sucks the linebacker up. You see the pulling, the run fake. So Purdy is looking left, looking left, looking left. When I say as the weeks go along, the more he plays, he's going to get used to the speed of the NFL. He's going to know that his eyes have to go faster. That end zone touchdown to McCaffrey, the one that he didn't catch, like that was a prime example of Purdy just going through his reads like boom, boom, boom. Here, if he would have done the same thing, this is an easy breezy touchdown for 85. Instead, he's hanging on to Ayuk like he wants him to cut in. He wants him to cut in. He wants to cut in. He's never going to be able to make that throw because this is a cloud cornerback, meaning that he is responsible for this flat area. So he's going to sit on any short route. What you would like to see is, all right, slant's not there. Boom, let me get to the middle of the field. What happens in the middle of the field? This guy. So perfect look. Didn't get what they wanted. Still a positive play. You're not going to complain about 4 or 5 yards, especially knowing that Christian McCaffrey is going to break a tackle, but his eyes. And that's another thing to keep an eye on, to make sure that Purdy is consistently going through his reads. But you'll always take a profit, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes moving forward. All right, this is probably getting greedy here. So it's 3rd and 1. Look at no deep safety help right here, right? Everybody is in the frame. Everybody is within by the time the ball is snapped. 3 yards of the line of scrimmage. This is insane. This is what you would do in Madden. Knowing that, I'm taking a shot. And having it in my head now that Shanahan said Purdy looks deep to short, I am always going to hold him accountable for that. I just want to know if that is something we end up seeing as the season goes along. But again, you get a first down. If I'm Purdy here, I'm thinking throw it to the flat right now, right? And you'll never, ever be mad at that because it's a first down. You stay on the field, you win the game. But look at Croft coming from across the field here. Nobody runs with him. Walks in for a touchdown. They end up getting a field goal on this drive. But I know Croft. I know that probably had to be bugging him. But again, you will never complain about taking a profit. And in this instance, it's a first down. It's 3rd and 1. He's not thinking about throwing to Croft. I imagine Croft has never been open in practice. So it's tough for him to look 3rd level right now. In your head, I'm sure Kyle's in his ear too. Hey, take this. I've told my players the same thing. Hey, let's just take that profit, right? Take that easy first down, and we'll come back to something if we like it. But that was a touchdown, no doubt. Okay, I want to show 2 plays before I get out of here. They both involve Trent Williams. I don't feel like I talk enough about Trent Williams. I should talk way more about, in my opinion, the 49ers' best player. We talk about all these skill players. They're not able to do a lot of what they're able to do without 71. So this play is a prime example. It is a sweep to the right, and they run this play. It's like an LSU toss where they're getting everybody to go one way just to cut back the other way. That cutback is not available unless he is able to cut this player off. So, as he usually does, he embarrasses him. I forgot what the technical term for this is, but this is Trent Williams' go-to move. Cuts off the guy, and now the cutback lane parts like the Red Sea. That is all Trent Williams right there, and he should get all the credit in the world for that. All right, another play. And this is all during their 4-minute offense where 49ers just morph into bullies. And all right, last one. Trent Williams, 2 for 1 here. So the last play I just showed, explosive play. This one, explosive play. He gets 2 for 1 here. And again, this is in the 4-minute offense when everybody knows you are going to run the ball. It's a jet sweep to Deebo Samuel. Makes the guy miss there, but 71 is the real key here. Watch him. So we secure the first level. Why is that important? That way Aaron Banks can run up underneath him. So check. That is not easy to do right there. And then climbs to the second level. Blocks one linebacker. Pushes that linebacker into another guy. He's amazing, man. The 49ers are so fortunate to have this guy. The fact that they were able to acquire him. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting to watch how this season plays out. You know, Shanahan's going to have a couple tricks up his sleeve, but there are so many playmakers that Brock Purdy doesn't really have to do. He doesn't have to play outside of who he is, right? Like, he is an athlete. He is a gambler. He's a gunslinger. There are going to be risks. Not all risks are bad, in my opinion. That's going to play itself out as well. But this performance, what we saw, there were more positives than negatives. And I feel like that is a great sign considering he hasn't worked with the starters. So I think the 49ers are going to be just fine with Brock Purdy under center.